Welcome to Maths Solution. So far in Maths Solution, we have been looking at solving quadratic equation. We are still in the quadratic equation series. In our previous lessons, we considered how to use the perfect square method to solve quadratic equation, and we also looked at completing the square method. In our today's lesson, we are going to look at the factor method, and the first example we shall consider is here for you on the board. Now we can see on the board we have u squared plus 5u plus 6 equals to 0. In using the factor method to solve this equation, the very first thing we have to do is to take the first term, which is u squared. Here it is, u squared. We are going to use it to multiply the last term, which is plus 6. And then the result of 6 plus 6 times u squared will give us plus 6u squared. Now, this is the first step. The second step we are to take now is to take our plus 6u squared and look for the factors of plus 6u squared, such that if we add up the factors, it will give us the middle number here, which is plus 5u. So how do we get the factors? We take this plus 6, let's do it somewhere here, plus 6u squared. By factors, we mean the numbers that can divide into 6 without any remainder. So let's start with 2. 2 can divide into 6 to give us 3. Now each of these factors must carry u because of the u square we see here. So the first factors are 2u and 3u. Now let's see if there are other factors. 3 can go, which is 3 into 6 will give us 2. 4 cannot go, 5 cannot go, but 6 can go. 6 into 6 is what? 1. So there you have it. These are all the factors of 6u squared. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to come to the middle term. Now, in the middle term, we can see that we are having plus 5u. That plus you see in the middle term means that the big factor must carry that positive sign. So in the first factor, 2u and 3u, the positive sign will come to our plus, that is our 3. Now for the second one, it comes in here. Now for the third one, it comes here. So the big factor, we take the sign of the middle term. Now how do we get the other sign of the other factors? We look at the sign of the product here. The positive sign tells you that the two factors must carry the same sign. So which means here will be positive, here will be positive, here will be positive. So that is the second step that we have taken. So the next step is we are going to see which of these factors will sum up to give us plus 5. So let's try the first factor. Plus 2u plus 3u will give us plus 5u. I believe that is well understood. Now the other one will also give us plus 3u plus 2u will give us plus 5u. Then plus 6u plus 1u will give us plus 7u. So you can see that all these factors, this last one, which is plus 6u and minus 1u, does not give us what we are looking for, so we strike it out. Then the real factors here are plus 2u plus 3u or plus 3u plus 2u. So either of them will do. So for our example, we are taking the first one, which is plus 2u plus 3u. Now, what do we do with that? Come to this equation and rewrite it. So here, we are going to have u squared. Instead of writing out the plus 5u, we are replacing it with its factors, which is plus 2u plus 3u. So over here we write plus 2u plus 3u. Then the final value there is plus 6, all equals to 0. Now, at this point, we are going to introduce a bracket in the first and second term so that we can be able to factorize them. Now, how do we factorize u squared plus 2u? To factorize it, let's come here. The first term u squared can be expanded as u times u, while the second one is 2u, which is what? 2 times u. So we get the HCF. Now, in getting the HCF, we look for the highest common factor. That is, we see that u is common in the first and second number, so we group it as 1u, and that gives us u. Now, what do we do with the HCF? We bring the HCF here and write it here u, and introduce it outside the u in this first bracket. Now, we are going to divide u squared by this u. Now, if you do so, let's come over here. Let me show us how to do it. Our u squared divided by u will give us u times u divided by u. This u will cancel this one. You are left with just 1u. So we take this 1u and put it inside here, which is the first term in the bracket. Then we put our positive sign. Now, for the second value, this u that is here will be divided by this u outside. So this u will cancel this u. You'll be left with what? 2. So we write out the 2. Now, one beautiful thing about your factor method is that once you have gotten the factors in the first bracket, you will just introduce the same factor for the second bracket, everything equals to 2. So what is left for us is to get the number that is outside the second bracket. I would advise you to use this last term to divide this last number that is here. But first, consider the signs. Plus means that we write a positive sign here. Then 6 divided by 2, we have 3. So that is the value that we've gotten in that step. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to group the HCFs together, and at the same time we group the factors in the bracket together. So here we write the first HCF is u, then plus the next HCF is 3. We group them in one bracket. Then in the next bracket we group the factors, which is u plus 2, and then we equate it to 0. Now, from this step, when two numbers are multiplying themselves to give us 0, it is either the first number is 0 or the second number is 0, or both of them is 0. So how do we write this? We say either u plus 3 equals to 0 or u plus 2 equals to 0. From here, what do? We take our plus 3 to this side. It gives us u to become minus 3, or we take it to this side to give us u equals to minus 2. So there you have it. That is the solution for the problem on the board. So we have u equals to minus 3 or u equals to minus 2. Please, I will encourage you to like, to subscribe, and to also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I release next video. So I will see you in my next lesson.